As soon as I finished watching Sister Act, I immediately started watching Sister Act 2, by which I mean the very same day. And I will say, while I didn't love it quite as much as the first one, which is okay, sequels are very rarely as good as the original film, I did really thoroughly enjoy it. And I have to say, I cannot wait for Sister Act 3, which I believe is due to arrive next year. Sister Act 2 was released in 1993, directed by Bill Duke, and we have Whoopi Goldberg, who reprises her role as Sister Mary Clarence. There won't be any spoilers for this film, but there may be things I say in this discussion that would spoil things that happen in the first film. So if you haven't seen the first film, I thoroughly recommend that you go and watch it. It's absolutely fantastic. But from now, there may be spoilers for what happens in the first film. And in this second film, Sister Mary Clarence, Deloris, has been asked by Mother Superior, played again by Maggie Smith, to help out because they are desperate. The nuns are actually working at St. Francis High School, and the school is not exactly doing its best, and they need a music teacher. So Mother Superior asks several of the nuns to go and collect Deloris from her show and take her to the high school and basically beg her to take on the role of the music teacher. And she agrees to do this, and it's all about her working with the children there who have a very negative attitude, they're not hard workers, they don't care about things. There are a couple of exceptions. Some of them are a little bit more awake to the fact that the rest of their lives is very imminent and they do need to maybe start trying a little bit harder. But generally they have a couldn't care less attitude and they don't want her around. She has a big task ahead of her, but she's got a trick up her sleeve, and it involves singing and music, and I'll say no more than that. But she's able to slowly begin to speak to them through music, helping them to realize that they need to start trying hard in life, and you can't just run away from things whenever you get scared. And also, if there's something you're passionate about, you shouldn't give up just because you think it's going to be hard or because you don't think it will ever happen for you. There are actually so many messages in this that I think it can speak to pretty much everybody in one way or another, regardless of what walk of life you come from. And I think that's a really beautiful thing about this film. And that necessarily wasn't the case with the first film. So while I think the second film is not quite as good. And the reason I think it's not quite as good is because there are fewer nuns. It's as simple as that. I love the nuns. Obviously, we have Kathy Najimy and Wendy Makkena and Mary Wickes as the various Sister Marys, but there are not as many nuns as the previous film. But I feel like the messages in this hit home a lot more, and I think the messages are a lot more moving and a lot more important for the average person. So credit where it's due. It's taking things in a different direction, and in its own right, it does work very well. It's very uplifting, it's inspiring, it's moving. Sure, I didn't love it as much as the first film, but who cares? Because I still really thoroughly enjoyed it, and at the end of the day, I got to the end of the film and went, it can't be over. I need more of it, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I just cannot wait for the third film. I really can't. It's going to be, well, I hope it's going to be amazing. I had a quick look at the cast, and I did see that Kathy Najimy is listed on IMDb as being part of it, as is Whoopi Goldberg, of course. So, really hopeful. But for now, I'm going to be floating on the joy of Sister Act 1 and 2 for quite a while. If you've never seen Sister Act 2, don't watch it unless you've seen the first film. But if you've seen the first film and you haven't seen it, presumably if you liked the first film, give it a watch. I think you'll find it different but equally as enjoyable. The only thing I didn't like about it, the nails on the blackboard. At least twice there were nails on a blackboard and I nearly vomited. Even just thinking about it's horrible. But beyond that, absolutely gorgeous film. Can't believe it's over. I might just have to watch it again. Really thoroughly enjoyed it.